You are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Welcome back, my friends. Today is going to be a bumpy ride, so buckle up, Buttercup. I am here to disrupt your complacency. I am here to disrupt your inaction and ask you very clearly to choose your future. This is Amplify Your Marketing Message. I am your host, Campbell Rapin. I help customers, clients, buyers, and people just like you to commercialize their ideas, to find clients consistently, predictably, and frequently. It is not rocket science. It is a solvable problem. And so today I want you to decide your future. We've just come through the biggest cliff in the entire calendar year. Are you surviving? Or are you on life support? When I started my business journey, I was exactly where you are. I had a great vision. I had a lot of skills that I couldn't necessarily fire consistently to create the results predictably. I was determined, but I was also uncertain. And I had the awareness to know that if left to my own devices, I would stall, I would hide, and I would not create the most of the opportunity I could see in my mind. And I think all of us have been at a time and a place where we think, God, I had a golden opportunity. What did I do with it? Did you trust yourself enough to really step in and not lead fear, giving you a place on the sidelines? And when I was at that moment about really deciding, do I really want to do this? Sure, money was a question. It wasn't the stumbling block many people make it. And it's not because I was sitting on an oil well or a lottery win that it could just free flow from the sky and I didn't have to worry about it. Every dollar I earned, I had to think about how I would choose to save it, spend it, or utilize it. And here's the kicker. Money's meant to be used. So many people think it's bad to go into business debt, which I think is fascinatingly absurd. You're willing to go into debt for all kinds of reasons. You'll go into debt to pay for your kids' education. You'll go into debt and delay your retirement to have your kids move home with you. You will go into debt for a vacation you can't afford, and you'll do it in a way that you can't even pay for. And there's a million small cuts that bleed you financially. And none of that bothers you. But the moment you get invited an opportunity to step in and bet on yourself, you're like, whoa, I can't go into debt for my business. Seriously, give your head a shake. There's nothing more important than betting on yourself, because that is what is required. You were gifted life. I'm a faith-based individual, and I know that God gave me a reason, a purpose, a pathway, and He gave me freedom of choice. And sometimes I am sure Him and the angels and all my ancestors roll their eyes going, Christine, seriously, why do you always want to take the hard path? Because I have taken the hard path many, many times. And through lived experience with a big birthday on the horizon, I hope I take an easier path when optioned. And I'm willing to bet on myself. And yes, go into debt as needed, because I know I can create money. I know that I can create money. It's a renewable resource and it can multiply. but it doesn't multiply in stuck energy, because trust me, the most rich person in the graveyard is the one under it, not the one on top of it visiting. And so I had this moment. I had this moment to decide my first big investment. It was a group program with a well-known guru. And it really wasn't a money issue in my head, because I thought I could borrow it, I could loan it, I could trim other expenses. There was a lot of ways to create the cash if I was determined to solve the problem. Because if my car broke down, or I did have a dream holiday, or my furnace stopped working, I would create the cash. So why would I not create the cash for myself? Again, this blindness in the marketplace makes me crazy. But I thought to myself, it really isn't money. I mean, truthfully, I have to spend it, and I don't love spending it, but I would spend it. I'd spend it on other people fast. I couldn't spend it on myself fast. But that was the problem. And I thought, what do I want to be at the end of my life? And this may be a bit morbid, so bear with me. I thought, if I'm standing in front of God at the end of my story, and we're looking back, and I'm having a conversation about stepping into heaven, I don't want to have a conversation when we look backwards and I can see all the moments of opportunity I did not step into and have an ounce of regret about that. I didn't want to say, I wish I could have bet on myself. I wish I had lived my dreams. I wish I'd pursued building the business that I had equipped myself to succeed at. I don't want to be judged that I lived in mediocrity, that I lived in desperation, that I lived in an attitude that the problem wasn't solvable, because the one thing I know with faith is everything is solvable with God. And with that belief that I am not smarter than He is, I am a contributor to the path. And when He opens the path and He brings people and opportunity, we don't hide from that because of money, which is a materialistic, unearthly construct we've created. We lean in with faith and we say, I will solve this, and I will trust the process, and I will do the work, and I will release the expectations. And so when I sat in that moment, I thought, this is dumb. Truthfully, Christine, this is dumb. You're asking for evidence, but not being willing to get the evidence of lived experience. And the only way I can get my dreams, and the only way I can show up, is if I prioritize myself, which means I would spend money on myself as fast, if not faster, than I would spend it on others, because money was a renewable resource. And we've just come through the worst cliff of the entrepreneurial season of a 12-month calendar. And I've watched people sit on money like a scared hatchery, holding all the eggs really close. Money's meant to be spent. It's the whole economic cycle. I spend it, it goes into the economy, it supports somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else, and we multiply. But I watch people scared to spend money because they don't believe they can create it. I've watched people delay, thinking they have the luxury of someday down the road, which never will come. And so it's not okay. And it was never okay for me to look back and say, I wish I had. And if that's you, comfortable saying, I'm okay living soft, easy, scared, mediocre, this episode is not for you. I am not for you. And I don't recommend you subscribe and save and listen to this podcast. But if you're here, I'm pretty sure it's not okay for you either to get to the end and say, I wish I had. It's probably not okay for you to look at your life and go, I had this golden opportunity to spend $10,000, $12,000, $30,000, and I missed a moment. I missed a lifetime because I was living in my current reality instead of spending to get to the next. And I'm not saying spend foolishly. Everything we build is fundamental. It's substance, not just sizzle. And that's what makes us different. That's why our clients, even in tough economic cycles, are winning. And so if you're not winning now, I want you to get clear. Are your dreams negotiable? Are you willing to build the empire? And if you are not doing the work on your own, even though you are highly capable to do it, you have to know that that's a choice. And the only way out of it is to change the choice you're making. Because here's the truth. Let me ask you a really, really direct question. What are the things you are choosing to say, I don't have time for? Because my coach said to me pretty recently, when the excuses come through and you're talking about your numbers or you had an event, it didn't go the way you wanted, and there's a million justifications. If this had gone right, then this would have happened. If this had been in place, this would have happened. If I had blah, 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 blah. Guys, you all live that storyline. And she lasered through the room and said this, if you could have, you would have. You didn't. And so when you get to the end of your life, you get to decide if you could have, you would have. Did you? Did you? Did you start to build it? Because now is the longest runway you will always have. It gets shorter day by day. And you can't wait for someday. You're listening to this right now, which is the moment that said it is time to get clear that the things you're avoiding are the things that are necessary. So let me tell you the 5 things I see people avoiding right now. Here's the funny thing about it. It's making me freaking insane, as you can tell. I'm hot about this. Is every single one of these creates cash, money. And if you don't have time to make money, let me just boldly freaking ask you this. What do you think you're doing as a business owner? Even in the not-for-profit sector, the goal is money. In the for-profit sector, the goal is money. If your goal is money, why are you avoiding all the things that make you money? And waiting till September, or waiting for next year, or waiting for the kids to leave school, or the husband to give you permission, or whatever excuse it is that you are living with, you are not choosing you. You are not choosing to step into your potential, and you are missing a golden opportunity. Because if you could, this is the moment to say, I can, I will, I'm in. The first thing people are avoiding is prospecting. I'm in paid networking communities where the number one reason we pay to be in there is to make client growth happen. And yet 90% of the people I observe in there don't prioritize prospecting. And that is why, in response to that gap and my observation and a desire to help bridge it, I created a 30-day client lead sprint. I, for 30 days, will mentor you in a Marco Polo group, and we will ask you and give you direction every single day. Here's a prospecting focus. Here's a way to go make friends with strangers. Every idea is delivered in less than 3 minutes at the start of your workday, and you have and only need 30 minutes or less to execute it. If you can't find 30 minutes to find a stranger to make money with, you do not have what it takes to be a business owner, because everything starts here. And you always think, well, how do I get started? This, prospecting. You have to make friends with strangers, and you don't just do business development at the beginning. You have to do business development always. Without it, you will always struggle for cash. And again, just quit the field if you're not willing to commit to this, because it's how you make money. So if you need help, come talk to me about the lead sprint. Let's get you enrolled in one. Second thing that happens is I don't know how to have, hold, and execute a sales call. You might go meeting to meeting to meeting and saying, I'm educating, I'm meeting good people, but nobody books a sales call. Then you are avoiding sales call and you don't know how to make that transition. And chances are you're not talking to buyers, in which case you are building a hope strategy, a haphazard strategy, and you are playing victim, saying nobody's ready to buy. Money's tight, the market's happening, trades are difficult, tariffs are rooting the business, blah, 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 excuse, excuse, excuse. I signed a client today and they asked me this. Is it harder in the current market to find clients? She's a coach. And I said, I'm a coach and you were asking me for an offer. So tell me how hard the market is. You're ready to spend. So if you're ready to spend with me, chances are somebody's ready to spend with you. Logic. So first off, you're not prospecting. Secondly, you're avoiding and don't know how to book and hold a successful sales call. And the third thing that happens is now you have a client. And it blows my mind how many small businesses don't invoice out in a timely manner and get paid. And my clients all know that I call this out all the time. You get out of bed first thing in the morning, first thing you do, invoice, check invoices, then follow up on any open offers and move the money first. And then you move. Because money is what the business goal is. It's the money that opens the door to live the life. It's the money that allows you to invest in your business. It's the money that has you exhale. I can do this. I am doing this. And this is evidence of it. The fourth thing is kind of related to the previous one, which is not enough just to send the invoice. You have to actually get paid. And here's the stats, pretty scary, but for small businesses in North America, the debt default, which means customers not paying their bills, ranges from 6 to 24%. So you're banking on getting 100% of what was owed to you, but the stats tell us that's rare, which means you're going to have difficult money conversations with somebody who isn't honoring the terms of your invoice. I just watched you cringe. Welcome to the world of business ownership. You have to have this conversation and you have to find a way to engage. And I highly recommend you have contracts that nail what happens when payment defaults occur. And you have to have the gumption and the follow through to stand in integrity with what you have contracted. And contracted clients are written for the days when things are challenging. Contracts are not written for the day of excitement and potential and first things. And that's why they are absolutely a key critical business tool. Because getting paid enables you to make payment to someone else. And I have a client that was recently in some challenging payment issues with me and my business. And I said, if you're not paying my bills, it cascades into my business. I happen to be very good and we have a very small percentage of default. But if you're not paying your bills, I bet you your clients aren't paying yours. So I said, you're in a cycle that needs to be broken. The fifth thing that's really important that you are avoiding, that you're saying, I don't have time for. I'm so busy doing newsletters and books and someday projects and tweaking the website and redefining the offer and being in the same rooms that don't lead to sales. You're not asking your clients for feedback. You're not asking for the testimonials along the experience of working with you. And let me tell you this, the best free marketing you will ever get is a client experience. And not all clients' experiences have to be positive 100% of the time to be a great testimonial. How did you handle the adversity? That client that I just referenced, we had payment problems with, has given me the best testimonial about the impact I've had in her business. Of all the dollars she spent as coaches, consultants, in communities, we're in a frictional moment. She gave me the best testimonial ever. Do you think that has power with the next client? I handled it well, and I've had the skill set to make money. So I'm going to go back to the question I asked, which was lasered. What are the things that you don't have time for that are the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 reasons you don't have the business you say you want? Every single one of those, prospecting, sales, getting invoices sent out, getting them paid, and getting a client experience in writing you can talk about and in video you can share, is exactly the reason you don't have the business stability you crave. How does that sit with you? Because I'm going to go back to where I stood, scared, uncertain, a little lost, but I was really clear it is up to me to prioritize myself, to prioritize the discomfort, to get better. And I needed somebody with the business skills, a great tenacity, and a really good track record of delivering results. I needed bumper rails to stay in the lane, to stay in movement, to be course corrected quickly. And so I paid for it. I hired a coach. I had a mentor. I had somebody who was willing to tell me the truth with great respect and a lot of desire to see me win, but by no means who was willing to just hide and sugarcoat it because it didn't serve me. But that money I spent, that decision I made, to step into my potential, to wobble and do it anyway, is why I am here today. And I just want to be candid. I still have those wobbles. I still have to sit with myself and say, do I want this? And if I want this, I must prioritize it. I must schedule it. I must put money behind it. And I have the opportunity to make that declaration, take the leap of faith, and trust that the people that I have invested with are the people God sent to guide me. They're not there to rescue me. They're there to bring a fresh perspective to the blind spot I hold. And so I want to end today's episode by asking you, are you content to watch opportunity pass you by? It's not okay to have that experience. And for you to say, it's not okay for me to get to the end of my life and miss an opportunity. It's not okay for me to prioritize vacations and other people's futures and not my own in equal measure. You should visit ChristineCampbellRapin.com. There's 3 ways we can support you right now: the Lead Sprint, our group program, and our private mentorship. All of these end in one destination: pursuing your dream, building the empire so that you have the lived experience, the exhale, the fun factor. And here's the thing that sits in the quiet moments of solitude: pride in yourself, that you faced the adversity and saw it head on, that you committed to figuring it out, and you did, and you followed through, and you stepped up, and you borrowed faith from me and from others until you could hold it your own. Everything you want's on the other side of fear. The life you envision is possible to create, but if you don't make time for the things that create it, you will never have it. And what a shame that would be. So it's time to join me. ChristineCampbellRapin.com. Let's get you started. This is my personal invitation to you to join me. I'll help you on that journey. I'll see you on the inside. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit ChristineCampbellRapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our